watching Rainbow Rocks Beauty. This is my Valentine's Day tutorial for 2015. It features a little bit of glitter on the inner corner, some Arabic eyeliner, We've got the pink eyeliner and then the super bright purple smoky eye. This is going to be a full face tutorial because I feel like everything from the skin to the lips to the contour to the eyes to the brows, it's really important that we get it all right for Valentine's Day so that it stays all night, so that we look perfect on our date or for whatever might happen after. And obviously you just want to look your best and you want to look perfect. So I wanted to bring something a little bit different to the table, so that's what this look is going to be, not your average Valentine's tutorial. And I think that's all I have to say for now, so let's get into the tutorial. I'm starting off with my brows. You guys know I like to do this first for my brow tutorial, which will go more in depth on how I'm doing them, so I highly recommend watching it. I use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Granite, and I first spoolie the hairs sideways, and then I make a line from the inner corner all the way to the tail. I barely have a tail, so I indeed have to make one. I then make short and light hair strokes up from that line, making sure that they're especially light on the inner corner so that I can achieve an ombre effect. And as I move outward, the strokes go from up to sideways in the direction that the hair grows. At this point, I spoolie the whole thing, lightly pressing into the skin to disperse the product. I trace an upper line as well, and toward the end I simply fill in the tail and the sparse areas with more pressure, spoolie the whole thing to finish it off. To kill two birds with one stone, I take MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. We're using our best makeup today, guys, because it's Valentine's Day and we are princesses. On this angled flat concealer brush from BH Cosmetics, I dip it into the paint pot and carve out the underside of my brow. This makes the line more precise, and we can also drag it down to start priming the eyes for eyeshadow. I recommend getting the product onto the tip of the brush and holding it flat to the face while carving. It's the same idea as resting your hand on your face when lining things, it just offers you more control. Now I'm taking a little bit more Painterly on my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and it's super nice for concealer or primer because it's dense and blends creams well, and I just spread that all around my eyelid crease and up to the brow bone. Make sure to blend it to the side so there isn't a harsh paint pot line. Now take Scotch tape and lay it down, guys. You can angle it from the outer corner of your eye to the tail of your brow, but I like to make it a little more flat than that for a cat eye effect. Our transition shade is going to be Makeup Geek Unexpected. It's a matte mauve, so any matte mauve color will do. I'm also using the Makeup Geek Soft Dome crease brush to literally just blend this into my crease. No special technique or trick. The tape makes it easy just because you can start in the crease at the tape and blend stopping at the iris of the eye. I also make sure to take it down to the lash line on the outer corner so it isn't only blended up top and it connects all the way around. Yeah, I hope that made sense. I'm taking Hot Black Primal Color from NYX. I must say that for a black eyeshadow from the drugstore, this is a good true black, but all of these Primal Color eyeshadows do get really dry from sitting, and if you even just get like a little bit of like eye primer or concealer in there, like in the pot, like an undetectable amount from the brush you're using, it kind of ruins the shadow. But that's why I'm using it, because it's going to go on a little bit more soft rather than stark and dark, which is what I want for this look. It's going to transition from the purple to the mauve without the eyes being like 100% purple. This little white brush is from Cargo. It's just a pointed little brush, and I'm using it to sculpt out that crease so we get a nice round shape, stopping at the iris as with our transition shade. Then I'll take the brush that I used for Unexpected, doesn't matter if it has some left over on it, and I'm just going to buff pretty hard at the black. The idea is for it to be smoked out and diffused, and nothing too precise, just use back and forth and circular blending motions. I went in off camera and added more black the same way, just didn't show it because it is a long and slow process. Create the darkness as you feel suits you. I'm just taking my Sigma E40 to blend everything together because this brush just creates the softest effect out there. I grabbed my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Black Bean and I just filled my entire lid. As you can see, this look looks worse before it looks better. I just cover the lid all the way from the inner corner to the tape and then blend it out with my finger. We blend because it fills the patchy areas by moving the product around and makes the edge where it reaches the crease more smooth. A lot of the product disappears, but that's okay. This is more like a base than anything else. Just take the blending brush from earlier and just blend the crease to buff the black pencil in with the black eyeshadow. I'm just going over with the pencil one more time now that it has an edge to blend up to, and this time I only blend the edges with my finger so that they diffuse up a little bit, leaving the lid nice and black. I'm taking Makeup Geek Pop Culture, which is a gorgeous shimmery cool tone purple, And I'm just using the opposite end of the cargo brush, which is just a flat shadow brush, to pack this all over Black Bean. I advise to take a lot of the eyeshadow, just like a ton of it, and really pack it on. Don't worry about fallout because it has the black cream to stick to. If you don't make sure the whole lid is dry with shadow, it will crease because there is a black cream on the eye. Once Pop Culture is packed from inner to outer corner, take the blending brush again and blend the edges just slightly. It doesn't matter if the line is somewhat harsh because it's your lid shade and it will add to the drama of the look. Feel free to blend more with the Sigma E40 because that fluffiness will diffuse for a days. For the stacked liner, I'm taking the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Jeffrey. This is not a product that has been tested for safety on the eyes, so use your good judgment on whether to actually use a lip product in the eye area at all. I found that it literally had no effect. I didn't feel any itching or burning or any of that whatsoever. This brush is by Real Techniques. It's a pointed liner brush from their starter collection. I pick up product from the lippy by dipping it into what goops up on the applicator. I'm doing my winged liner as I normally would, just a little bit longer, almost to the end of the tape. Be as messy as you want on the bottom of the wing because the tape is there to make that line nice and sharp. I'm doing a little bit thicker than I normally do my liner because I will be putting black liner on below it. Now with this product, since it is a cream consistency, you will have to let a layer dry and then do a couple more coats / layers until it has full opacity. The nice thing is that it does dry completely matte, so you'll be able to wait a short amount of time and then reapply and just keep doing that. Keep in mind also that it will be kind of a glob on the brush, just because that's the nature of a lip product, so there will be a lot of spreading and degooping as you're applying it to your eyes. It also gets like all up into the lashes, which won't be an issue since we'll be mascaraing them and applying falsies, but that's just something to watch out for. I'm lining my eyes with the Kat Von D ink liner, which is the blackest felt tip liner pen ever. It's so easy to use. I recommend it highly. I'm creating a wing against the tape like I did with the pink, and then for the lash line, since I have hooded lids, I like to do a super thin line close to the lashes and then tight line my upper waterline. The larger your lids and more rounded, you can do both liners more thick, but when I reach the inner corner, I fill that entire tear duct and I drag it down towards the bridge of my nose. I make sure just the very fine tip of the pen is touching my face because that's what will create that perfect point on the inner corner. Pretty much do it the same way as a wing on the outer corner, just drag it into the tear duct making a triangle like you would with the outer wing. If you mess up, that's totally okay. It'll be super easy to fix up and clean later. Now's the time to remove the tape and revel in that crisp, clean line. To clean things up, I'm just using a green tea makeup remover wipe from Absolute and just gathering the fallout, cleaning up that inner corner wing if needed, and yeah. Moving on to the base, I'm priming with my NYX pore filler, and I just push that into the spots where my makeup is most likely to move or crease, that being my nose, cheekbones, and forehead lines. For foundation, I'm using the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation in 45, which is the best foundation I've ever used just because it's so full coverage and this color is so perfect for me, and it really just adheres itself to the skin and has a very natural finish. I'm using my Makeup Geek Face Buffer brush and I spray it down with MAC Fix Plus beforehand because it makes the finish even more natural. It does have rose water, so if you're allergic, avoid this spray, but if not, it does have a nice rosy scent, not like bad rose, but good rose, and for Valentine's Day, who doesn't want their face to smell good? I dab on the foundation with my fingers and just buff everything in, making sure to get in my hairline, on my neck, and a little bit on my ears too. I use downward motions along with tapping motions. For a little bit of concealing and subtle highlighting, I'm taking MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC15. I squeeze a tiny bit onto the back of my hand and then place it first on the top of the brow so that we can conceal that area. And I just blended it in with my fingers there because that was the easiest at the time. And then I buff the edges with the foundation brush. Also because the leftover Fix Plus can shear it out a little bit since this concealer is quite thick. I use the foundation brush to place some on my under eyes, obviously being careful not to taint any of our eyeliner and just tapping to make sure it's blended and retains a natural finish. I'm taking Anastasia Contour Powder in Vanilla, which pretty much matches my skin tone, but it is a little bit more pink, so I will look very replenished under the eye. With the Sigma F60, a flat foundation brush, I just pat this on my under eyes so they don't crease, my nose and lips so that the foundation sets, and my forehead lines so that they don't crease. Back in with the Kat Von D liner, I'm cleaning up that inner corner line because a little bit was lost. I'm mostly just sharpening and straightening up the bottom part, making sure only to use the tip of the pen. For mascara, I'm taking my current fave, the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black, and making sure as always to coat every single lash so that the falsies have a strong base to stick to. My lashes are the Ardell Double Up 206s. I wore them in my last video, but they are so pretty. I just love how spindly they are. So like, duh, I'm going to wear them for my Valentine's Day look. I just need a new pair because I chopped them up to shit by accident, so they're looking kind of ratchet. I just carefully place them under my lashes close to as possible to the waterline, and then I press them together with my natural lashes all day long. Same liner pen, and I'm just lining my bottom lash line. I focus on really placing it in the base of the lashes because that's the lowest point of the waterline, and it's really what's going to make the eyes look the largest and most striking. On the outer corner, I make sure to connect the waterline to the wing so that all the little spots are filled and the eyes are completely lined. Obviously going to coat my bottom lashes several times with my telescopic, using side-to-side motions with the mascara wand to make the lashes as spindly and thick in appearance as the fake ones on top. What would a romantic and dramatic eye look be without glitter though? This one is from the drugstore. It's by Hard Candy. They come in sets of 2. This set is called Lock and Key. This glitter is silver and gold and reflects some blue and orange subtly. It's just pure gorge. I use my Lit Cosmetics glitter glue and this round sponge tip from BH Cosmetics, and I first dip it into the clear glue and then into the glitter and just dab it all over that inner corner, trying my best to avoid that wing. If some gets on the wing, no big deal. The liner is pigmented enough that you can draw over the glitter and cover it, but just place the glitter on top and bottom of that to keep it real. Once most of the glitter is placed, I kind of use the sponge to spread it around so there isn't a harsh glitter line. Glitter can be diffused. Wow, this is out of focus. This is the Cargo Suited to a T Cream to Powder Eyeshadow Palette, which I'm not too impressed with, but this shade in the corner, Mayfair, is a taupish gray color that's perfect for very cool tone contouring. Most of my precise contour actions happens at the nose because it's gigantic. And I use my Sigma Medium Ankles E70. I just carve out both sides all the way down, straight down actually to thin it out. And the nice thing about this particular color is that it blends really easily. So I just grab a little bit and run it down the side, and it's pretty much blended for me. I also put some on the tip and blend it upward to stunt the length of my nose, and then in the natural indents on the side of the nose for a couple of reasons. For one, darkening that area makes it appear smaller, and it makes my nose look more shapely from the side profile. And boom. The only other thing I wanted to contour was my cheekbones, because I think to make the face overly bronzed can start to look clownish with these dramatic eyes. And I just take this EcoTools paddle-like face brush and I carve out the cheekbones, starting at the ear and stopping at the hollow of the cheek, being sure not to take it too far in. If you're not a fan of the gray, that's okay because blush will even it out. I'm going to highlight next with my Physicians Formula Eye Brightener in Natural Eyelight, which is a white shimmery pressed powder with 3 flecks of yellow, pink, and green to even skin tone. And I'm using my e.l.f. blush brush to place this at the top of the cheekbones, the center of the chin, the center of the forehead, and the cupid's bow as I normally do. I do not want to put any on my nose because that will create the appearance of a larger nose, and I ain't about to bring that back. My blush is Milani Rose Powder Blush in Coral Cove, which is a gorgeous and pigmented pink blush with some coral in it from the drugstore, and I'm buffing that in with an EcoTools powder brush against the edge of my contour and onto the apples of my cheeks as usual. This will blend into the gray and add a bit of warmth, as I was saying before, evening the whole thing out. You can't go wrong with a pink and nude lip for any dramatic look ever, also for Valentine's Day. So I'm mixing 2 lipsticks, both drugstore, which are the Maybelline Lipstick in Bare All and NYX Matte Lipstick in Couture. I first apply Couture because it's darker and more opaque, so it will be a good base for the nude next. I just apply it to my whole lip, no lining necessary. With this one, it's good to put chapstick or something on beforehand because it is matte, so it can't stick to dry patches. And then I just throw on a light layer of Bare All over top, first on the bottom, and then I wipe off the tip of the lipstick to get that pink transferred off of it, and then all over the top lip. And that's the finished Valentine's look, my friends. All you've got to do is spray it with some setting spray. I hope your Valentine's Day is fun and romantic and amazing. #Rainbow Rocks on any social network so I can see your recreation, and I'll see you in my next video.